You've probably heard for years that nuts are the perfect heart-healthy snack. A handful here and there to keep your cholesterol in check and your energy steady. But what if that's not the whole story? Picture this. You're sitting in your favorite chair after dinner, a small bowl of mixed nuts beside you, maybe watching the evening news. It feels like a smart choice, natural, wholesome, full of good fats. Yet for many of us over 60, that same snack could quietly be working against the very health we're trying to protect. As bodies change with age, our digestion, metabolism, and even how our organs handle certain foods shift too. And sometimes, the foods we once trusted may need a second look. If you find this helpful, take a second to like or share. It really helps our little community grow. Now, let's look at the first habit that makes the biggest difference after 60. Here's the surprising part. Not all nuts are created equal. Some can slowly strain your liver, your kidneys, or even cloud your memory over time, while others can help you stay sharp, energized, and independent. The difference isn't dramatic at first. It builds gradually, day after day, with every small handful. What I'm about to share isn't rumor or internet gossip. It comes from published medical studies and from real stories of seniors who noticed dramatic changes simply by adjusting which nuts they eat. By the end of this video, you'll know the 4 nuts you might want to avoid and the 4 you'll want to make part of your daily routine for a stronger, clearer, more balanced life after 60. Before we dive in, take a moment to think about your own habits. Have you ever noticed your joints feeling stiff or your energy dropping after certain snacks? Maybe your digestion just isn't what it used to be, or your memory feels a little foggy. It might not be aging alone. Sometimes it's what's on your plate or in your snack bowl. I'd love for you to share which nuts you eat most often down in the comments. My team and I actually read every one and offer small, personalized tips when we can. All right, with that said, let's begin with the ones you may want to limit, starting with number 4 on the danger list. Macadamia nuts, too rich for aging metabolisms. Macadamia nuts are often called luxury nuts. They taste buttery, smooth, and indulgent, the kind of snack that feels like a small reward at the end of the day. But for many adults over 60, that rich texture can be a quiet red flag. The reason isn't just the calories, it's what happens inside your body after you eat them. Macadamias are one of the highest fat nuts in the world. For a younger body, that fat is fuel. But as we age, our liver naturally slows down and our ability to process large amounts of fat declines. Instead of converting it efficiently into energy, the body stores more of it as triglycerides, which can thicken the blood and put extra strain on the heart. Think of it like an older car engine trying to burn heavy oil. It works harder, runs hotter, and wears down faster over time. Robert from Phoenix learned this lesson the hard way. He's 67 and used to enjoy a small bowl of macadamias every evening while watching his favorite Western reruns. His doctor had praised nuts as heart healthy, so he thought he was doing the right thing. But after a few months, Robert started noticing something off. His energy dipped, and even a short walk left him winded. A routine blood test showed his triglycerides were higher than they'd ever been. With his doctor's help, he replaced macadamias with a modest handful of raw almonds each day. Within 2 months, his numbers dropped dramatically, and his evening walks felt easier again. He told me, "It felt like I got 5 years of energy back." Now, this doesn't mean macadamias are bad for everyone. They still contain good fats in moderation. But for seniors, portion size and fat type matter far more than we're often told. High-fat foods can overload a slower liver and make cholesterol harder to manage. If you've been noticing fatigue after rich snacks, your body may be asking for something lighter and easier to digest. Up next, we'll look at one of the best replacements you can choose, a nut that delivers energy without overburdening your body. Let's talk about the humble almond, a steady friend to both your heart and your metabolism. Almonds, the heart's best friend. Now let's talk about one of the simplest, most dependable allies for your heart: almonds. They may not have the luxury appeal of macadamias, but what they lack in richness, they make up for in balance. Each small almond is like a nutrient capsule, filled with healthy monounsaturated fats that help your body manage cholesterol naturally. These are the same kinds of fats found in olive oil, and they've been shown to lower bad LDL cholesterol while supporting the good HDL cholesterol that protects your heart and arteries. What's especially remarkable about almonds is how well they fit the needs of aging bodies. They're rich in magnesium, a mineral that quietly keeps your heart rhythm steady, relaxes tight muscles, and supports deep, restful sleep. Many adults over 60 are low in magnesium without even realizing it. Adding almonds can help fill that gap gently and naturally. No pills required. A 2022 nutrition study found that older adults who included a handful of almonds daily saw significant improvements in blood pressure and sleep quality within just a few weeks. Their energy levels also became more consistent, without the mid-afternoon crashes that can come from sugary snacks. You don't need a lot to see results. About 1 ounce, roughly 20 to 25 almonds, is enough. The best way to enjoy them is to soak them overnight in a small bowl of water. By morning, their skins soften and they become easier to chew and digest. It's a small ritual that feels surprisingly soothing, something you can do while making your morning coffee or reading the paper. So next time you're reaching for a snack, think of almonds as your heart's quiet companion. They're steady, dependable, and full of calm energy, a perfect match for this season of life. Coming up next, we'll look at another kind of imbalance that's easy to miss: how too much of a good thing can tip the scales. Let's explore the surprising truth about Brazil nuts. Brazil nuts, too much of a good thing. Brazil nuts are a perfect example of how something healthy can quietly become harmful when taken too far. They're packed with selenium, an essential mineral that supports thyroid health, boosts immunity, and helps your body fight oxidative stress. A little goes a long way. But with Brazil nuts, it's incredibly easy to get more than your body needs. Just 1 or 2 a day can meet your entire daily requirement. More than that, especially eaten regularly, can push you into overload. When selenium builds up, it can cause fatigue, brittle hair, or even hair loss. Some people also notice their nails changing or their mood dipping for no clear reason. It's the body's way of saying, "Enough already." Margaret, a 71-year-old retired teacher from Seattle, found this out the hard way. She had read that Brazil nuts were great for aging and began eating a handful every morning with her oatmeal. Within a few months, she noticed more hair in her brush and a lingering tiredness that no nap could fix. Her doctor ran a few simple tests and found her selenium levels were much higher than normal. After cutting back and switching to sunflower seeds for a gentle trace of selenium instead, her energy slowly returned, and her hair began to thicken again. It was a small change, but it made a big difference. So if you enjoy Brazil nuts, keep it to 1 or 2 pieces a few times a week. That's all your body truly needs. For daily balance, sunflower seeds, eggs, and brown rice can provide safe, steady selenium without the risk of overload. It's a good reminder that even healthy foods need moderation, especially as our metabolism and detox systems slow with age. Coming up next, we'll turn that same idea on its head and look at a nut that brings minerals back into balance rather than pushing them out: the pecan, a quiet champion for brain and heart health. Pecans, gentle antioxidant power. Pecans are one of nature's quiet protectors. They don't shout for attention with bright colours or exotic names. But inside those soft brown shells lies a powerhouse of antioxidants and heart-healthy fats that work in harmony with an aging body. Pecans are especially rich in compounds that fight oxidative stress, the gradual wear and tear that cells experience over time. These antioxidants help protect the brain from inflammation and keep your blood vessels flexible, supporting healthy circulation and sharper memory as the years go by. What makes pecans stand out for seniors is how balanced they are. Their natural fats are mostly monounsaturated, the same kind found in olive oil, and they help calm the inflammation that often drives heart and joint problems later in life. They also contain small amounts of zinc and vitamin E, which support brain health and immune function. Unlike some snacks that spike blood sugar, pecans digest slowly, giving you a steady flow of energy instead of an afternoon crash. Harold, a 69-year-old retired construction worker from Atlanta, learned this firsthand. He'd been struggling to keep his blood sugar steady even while taking his medication. At his doctor's suggestion, he began adding a small handful of raw pecans about 30 minutes before lunch each day. Within 3 months, his readings improved, and he noticed he didn't feel that foggy tiredness after meals anymore. He told me, "It's the first time in years I didn't need that 2 o'clock nap. If you want to give it a try, aim for one small handful, about an ounce, mid-morning or mid-afternoon. Enjoy them plain, or sprinkle chopped pecans over yogurt or oatmeal. It's a gentle and satisfying snack that supports your heart, your focus, and your overall calm." Next, we'll move from minerals to toxins and uncover one common snack that can quietly challenge your body's ability to stay clear and strong: peanuts. Peanuts, the mold risk few know about. Let's talk about one of America's favorite comfort foods: peanuts. They're in our snacks, our trail mix, and that familiar jar of peanut butter that's been in every kitchen since childhood. They're affordable, filling, and they taste great. But here's the part most people don't know: peanuts aren't actually nuts at all. They're legumes, which means they grow underground, where moisture and warmth can make them prone to a natural mold called aflatoxin. Now, aflatoxin isn't something you can see or taste, but it matters, especially as we get older. It's a toxin produced by certain molds that thrive in stored peanuts and peanut products. Even though the food industry monitors for safety, trace amounts can still remain, and our bodies handle them differently with age. The liver, which filters out toxins, works a little slower after 60. That means even small exposures can add up over time. It's not about panic or fear, it's about awareness. If you've been enjoying peanut butter every morning for decades, it may be time to give your body a lighter load to process. Patricia, a 70-year-old retired banker from Dallas, shared that she had eaten peanut butter on toast every day for years. Over time, she started to notice joint pain, fatigue, and a kind of brain fog that made it hard to focus. After switching to almond butter and adding milk thistle to support her liver, her energy came back and the fog lifted. Her story isn't unique. Our bodies often whisper before they shout. If you love that creamy or crunchy texture, you don't have to give it up completely. Try swapping peanuts for sunflower butter, almond butter, or pumpkin seeds. They provide similar protein and flavor without the same mold risk or heavy omega-6 load that can stir up inflammation. Keep your snacks fresh, store them in cool, dry places, and listen to how your body responds. Next, we'll turn to a nut that does the opposite of strain, one that actually restores balance and protects your vision, heart, and circulation. Let's talk about pistachios, a tiny green gem with some mighty benefits. Pistachios, the iron heart protector. If there's one small nut that deserves a standing ovation for its impact on healthy aging, it's the pistachio. Beneath its cheerful green shell is a blend of nutrients that protect both vision and circulation, two of the biggest concerns for adults over 60. Pistachios are naturally rich in lutein and zeaxanthin, the same powerful antioxidants found in leafy greens. These compounds act like internal sunglasses, shielding the eyes from damage caused by blue light and slowing the progression of age-related macular degeneration. For anyone who spends time reading, sewing, or scrolling through a tablet, these little green gems can make a real difference over time. But pistachios don't stop at vision, they're also great for the heart and muscles. Each handful provides plant-based protein that helps preserve muscle strength without overloading the kidneys. In one Penn State study, adults who ate a daily serving of pistachios for just 4 weeks saw improved artery flexibility and lower blood pressure. The researchers credited this to the combination of antioxidants and an amino acid called arginine, which helps keep blood vessels relaxed and open. In simpler terms, pistachios help your body's highways stay clear and smooth. Sarah, a 74-year-old retired nurse from Denver, discovered this in a deeply personal way. Her doctor had warned that her eyesight might keep declining, and she feared losing her independence. On a friend's suggestion, she began eating a small handful of pistachios each afternoon instead of cookies. 6 months later, her eye exam showed her vision hadn't worsened. In fact, it had improved slightly. Her blood pressure also dropped enough for her doctor to reduce her medication. She now calls them her green vitamins. To enjoy the benefits yourself, reach for about an ounce, roughly 50 pistachios in the shell, and choose unsalted if possible. The act of cracking them slows you down and helps you savor the snack mindfully. Keep a small jar in your kitchen or car for easy reach. Coming up next, we'll look at a nut that many people love, but one that deserves caution, especially for kidneys and blood sugar control. Let's take a closer look at cashews. Cashews, hidden kidney and blood sugar load. Cashews have long been seen as a safer snack, creamy, satisfying, and often marketed as heart-friendly. But for older adults, they can quietly create challenges that most people never connect to their diet. Cashews are naturally high in compounds called oxalates. These are tiny crystals that bind with calcium in the body, and when your kidneys are working at full strength, they filter them out easily. The trouble is, kidney function tends to slow down gradually with age. What once passed through effortlessly can begin to build up, increasing the risk of kidney stones or stiffness in the joints. There's another hidden factor too. Cashews belong to the same botanical family as poison ivy and contain trace amounts of a substance called urushiol. It's not enough to cause a rash for most people, but in sensitive adults, it can trigger inflammation throughout the body, the kind that makes arthritis flare or causes vague aches that seem to come from nowhere. Add in the salt and oils used in most roasted cashews, and you have a snack that can quietly elevate blood pressure and blood sugar over time. Dorothy, a 72-year-old grandmother from Miami, shared her story with us. She used to snack on salted cashews while watching her grandkids play in the yard, thinking they were a healthy alternative to chips. Over time, she noticed swelling in her hands and sharp pain in her lower back. Her doctor eventually found recurring kidney stones and elevated inflammation markers. Once she switched to walnuts and reduced processed snacks, the pain eased and her energy returned. Dorothy now says, "I never realized something so small could make such a big difference." If you love that creamy crunch, you don't have to give it up entirely. Just enjoy cashews sparingly and try raw, unsalted versions when you do. Or better yet, reach for walnuts instead. They nourish your brain, calm inflammation, and support deep restorative sleep, the perfect opposite of what cashews can do when overused. And that's exactly what we'll explore next: how one simple nut can protect your memory, your mood, and even your independence. Walnuts, the ultimate brain and heart support. If there's one nut that truly earns the title of superfood for seniors, It's the walnut. These familiar, wrinkled little shells hide something extraordinary. A perfect blend of healthy fats, plant-based omega-3s, and natural melatonin. Together, they form a gentle shield for your brain, heart, and even your sleep. Walnuts are the only tree nut rich in alpha-linolenic acid, a form of omega-3 that supports circulation, reduces inflammation, and protects the cells that keep your mind sharp. That's why nutritionists often call them food for the brain, and if you look closely, they even resemble one. Eleanor, a 78-year-old retired professor from Portland, had always been quick-witted and organized. But as the years went by, she started forgetting names, misplacing papers, and losing her train of thought mid-conversation. Her family gently suggested she see a doctor, who confirmed early cognitive decline. Instead of giving up, Eleanor made small but powerful changes. One of them was adding 2 ounces of walnuts to her daily routine, morning and evening. 6 months later, she noticed her focus returning. Her memory tests improved, and she felt confident enough to start writing poetry again. When she shared her story, she smiled and said, "It feels like I got my mind back." Beyond the brain, walnuts nurture the heart as well. Their omega-3s help lower bad cholesterol while improving the elasticity of blood vessels. And thanks to their natural melatonin content, they also promote restful sleep, something that becomes harder to come by after 60. For most adults, 1 to 2 ounces a day, about a small handful, is all it takes. Try having them in the evening as a light snack, or sprinkle them over oatmeal or yogurt before bed to support a deeper night's rest. With something as simple as a handful of walnuts, you're not just feeding your body, you're nurturing clarity, calm, and resilience. Up next, we'll bring everything together and reflect on how small choices like these can add years of vitality to your life. After 60, your body's relationship with food begins to change, gently but noticeably. The snacks that once gave you quick energy can start to feel heavy, and your body becomes more selective about what truly nourishes it. Nuts are a perfect example. They're small, powerful, and full of life-giving nutrients. Yet not all of them work the same way as we grow older. By now, you've seen that some can quietly burden your liver or kidneys, while others lift your energy, steady your heart, and sharpen your mind. The goal isn't to fear food or cut out everything you love. It's simply to understand how your body has evolved and what helps it thrive in this new season of life. It's not about restriction. It's about wisdom, awareness, and making choices that support longevity with ease and joy. So, here's the empowering truth. Tiny swaps can change everything. Choosing almonds instead of macadamias or walnuts instead of cashews might seem trivial, but those decisions add up, not just in numbers on a lab test, but in how you feel each morning. Your body rewards consistency and kindness more than perfection. Each thoughtful snack, each mindful bite, sends a quiet message to your body. I'm still taking care of you. That's where real wellness lives. In small, gentle habits repeated with love and patience. Now it's your turn to share. Have you ever noticed changes in your energy or clarity after switching certain foods or nuts? Your story might be the one that helps someone else make a positive change. Leave a comment, or share this with a friend who's on a similar path toward healthier aging. Thank you for caring about your health, for showing up, and for believing that it's never too late to feel better than yesterday. Every story, every tip we share here is meant to remind you, aging is not decline, it's wisdom in motion. Stay well, my friend. Until next time.